If you truly want to unlock and radiate feminine energy, there are 3 incredibly important things that you need to know. And let me tell you, my life completely transformed the minute I actually learned these things and started embodying them. So let's dive into what every healthy, magnetic, radiant, feminine energy woman knows so that you can become her too. Hey friend, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Jillz and I help women step into their power, tap into their divine feminine, and become their best self. So if that's something you want to do, you should subscribe and stick around. And in case you want more from me besides just my YouTube videos, you can check out my deep dive feminine energy course or any of my other digital products. They're all linked down below. The first secret that is so life-changing if you want to be this powerful, divine feminine woman is understanding the law of detachment and realizing that detachment brings ease. Detachment brings magnetism. The two are actually incredibly related, and if you don't have a healthy sense of detachment, then you're probably going to always struggle being fully comfortable and fully confident as this feminine energy woman. But here's the thing with detachment. Detachment is not being aloof. It's not being avoidant. It's not having all of these walls up. It's not pushing down and ignoring your feelings. What detachment really is, at its core, is trust. The women that you see that are just so magnetically feminine, they all operate with this one very important belief, that the universe is always supporting them, that the universe has their back and is conspiring in their favor. They can let go and not try to control and force things and chase because they have trust. And that is true healthy detachment. I remember I got this DM on Instagram once, and I've gotten this same sort of message many different times, just in slightly different ways. And she said, I really like this guy, but I feel like I'm constantly checking my phone, waiting for him to text me, like getting into that desperate energy, and it's messing with my life. And she said, how do I not do this? How do I just chill? And I said, if there is a chance that he is your soulmate, then he will text you. If he's not, then the universe is only making space for something better. And would you really want that person to be taking all of your energy, all of your focus, all of that, entangling your heart, if it's not even gonna work out for you anyway? You can detach once you believe that everything is working out in your favor. For some reason, I've never really loved the word detachment. I don't know, something about it just never clicked with me. It felt confusing and distant, and honestly, when I heard the word detachment, I didn't really even know what that meant, like how to be detached. But another word for detachment is just trust. And I love the word trust. Detachment feels cold and closed-hearted, but trust, it feels soft and loving and beautiful. It feels like you're being taken care of. And once I could see it and feel it as trust, then all of a sudden, I knew how to detach. You cannot be this magnetically feminine, peaceful woman if you're trying to control and force every little thing. If you're constantly trying to change people's behavior so that they'll be who you want them to be. Let him ghost you. Let him, because maybe it's not a bad thing at all. Maybe whatever it is, isn't for you. When you're detached, aka when you trust that things are working out in your favor, you show up as a different person. You're more peaceful, you're happier, more grounded. You walk away when your standards aren't being met instead of trying to force and control the situation. You're no longer doing silly things out of fear. And there's a really subtle but powerful difference between these two statements, okay? Number 1, I want this. This is what I want. This is what I have to have. Versus, I want this, but if it's not this, it's something better. And I'm open to being surprised. Good things often show up in unexpected ways. The best things in life tend to take you by surprise, but when you stay in control mode, in desperate mode, you can accidentally push these good things away, but when you release control, you allow for all of that to come in. That's why the women who are so connected with their feminine energy, you'll notice this if you actually try to look, they all have this air of detachment to them. I like to call it a warm detachment. They're not cold, but they're also not afraid of walking away. It's not that they don't care or that they don't love hard or work hard or pursue their goals, but their worth is not determined by every little outcome. Release your grip, let go of control, and trust. Detachment is the secret, and even though it's ironic, letting go is how you make space to become everything that you want to be. The next secret to becoming so powerful in your feminine energy is mastering the art of self-respect. Self-respect is the unwavering belief that you are worthy, right? That you deserve to be honored and loved. That putting yourself last is actually not the noble thing to do. Feminine energy thrives and comes to life when a woman actually sees herself as valuable and deserving. And when you see yourself as that, that'll directly influence how people perceive and treat you as well. Self-respect is honoring your boundaries. It's knowing your limits. It's knowing when to walk away. It's respecting your desires. It's respecting yourself, and not just how other people treat you, but how you treat you too. That self-respect is a priority, and it makes everything else fall into place. It makes you magnetic. Think about the most like radiant feminine energy woman that you can think of right now. Is she looking like a slob every day? Is she completely burning herself out and not allowing herself the rest that she knows she needs? Is she never working out or moving her body or eating junk food all day every day? Is she people pleasing and saying yes to things when she so badly wants to say no? Does she keep hanging out with that friend group that always talks poorly about her behind her back? No, this type of woman is not in her power. She's not in her authority. She's not in her queen energy. She's not respecting her desires. She's not respecting feeling good. She's not respecting the piece of art that is her body. Many years ago, when I did not enjoy my life and I was not connected to my feminine energy at all, a big reason for this is because I lacked true self-respect and I did not respect my desires. I saw them as unimportant or childish or unrealistic or not very valuable. Or I saw it as those desires were for other girls, not girls like me. And it wasn't until everything started kind of crumbling down in my life that I realized I needed to start operating from a completely different place. My life did not start changing and my feminine energy did not start thriving until I started respecting my desires. And yours won't either. Now, just to clarify, we have two different types of desires, or at least I like to classify them as like two different types of buckets, okay? So we have our superficial desires, which are like our surface level desires. Those surface level things that make us, quote, feel good. So that would be like eating a whole box of Oreos or something, or like grabbing our phone to scroll on TikTok, right? Like feeling good, like getting those dopamine hits essentially. But then we also have what I call our deeply rooted desires. These are things that make us feel good on a deeper, more powerful level. So for example, this would be following your passion to be an artist, or moving to a city that just like really calls to you, or even tiny little things like taking a 10-minute break outside to just like breathe and be in the air. These are things that make you deeply feel good, like you can feel it from a different place. Instead of feeling it from up here and like around here, you feel those deeply rooted desires like here and like in your stomach. These are the desires that we need to follow. These are the desires that we need to respect. And I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Your desires are not random. Your desires are a guide for you. Your desires are the universe leading you on your path. Trust them, respect them. Do you think that the most powerful feminine energy woman, that she ignores what she truly desires? Of course not. And that's why she gets it, or something better. Do you think she puts herself on the back burner, only accepting the bare minimum? No. But when you lack that self-worth or self-respect, you naturally devalue those desires. You naturally deprioritize those desires. You devalue yourself. You don't prioritize yourself. And when you do that, your life is never going to turn out the way you want it to. You're never going to have that feeling of like, oh, I just love my life. You're not going to have that feeling of ease and peace. Now, I quickly want to mention that there is an important distinction between having self-respect and self-worth and being entitled. And I see sometimes women who are trying to get more in touch with their feminine energy, connect more with their desires, connect more with their inherent worth as a woman, especially in like dating and relationships, start to cross that line just a little bit. Self-respect is I value myself. I know that I deserve to be treated well. And if I'm not, I'm gonna calmly communicate how I'm feeling, but if nothing changes, I'm gonna walk away. Entitlement is I want you to always cater to my needs. My desires are the only things that matter. Or I want you to be available whenever I need you. It's not mutual respect, it's one-sided. It's the feeling that other people owe you something with complete disregard to their needs, their boundaries, their feelings, their perspectives, and then trying to demand that of them. But the thing about acting entitled is that you're only going to attract people who lack self-respect. Those are the only people who will put up with that and tolerate that. And that's not what you want in a partner, so that's not gonna get you very far. Entitlement will shut down good opportunities. It'll shut down receiving. It'll shut down your magnetic feminine charm. But self-respect, that is what brings your feminine energy to life. Now, the next secret to amplify your feminine energy is that sometimes Less is more. Tapping into your feminine energy means slowing down, just being present and attracting in rather than chasing. And this less is more approach, it kind of goes against the grain. It goes against what society and hustle culture tells us we need to do. We always need to be pushing more. We always need to be doing more. That more is always better. But how good does that really make you feel? And how good does that approach usually work for you? Maybe in short, tiny bursts, but not in the long run. It usually doesn't work very well, especially if you want to be a radiant feminine energy woman. Now, of course, again, I'm not denying that there might be short seasons where we need to kind of bust our butt a little bit more and hustle a little bit more. Like, I don't know, maybe you're in the last final stretch of law school or something. I don't know how that works. But this should be the exception in your life, not the rule, not the norm. There was a year in my early 20s where I was very much in hustle mode. I had these miserably long commutes, working a job I didn't like. I had to wake up at like 4:45 a.m. every single day. It sucked. I'm not a morning person. I was trying to save money like crazy, but it was a year. And honestly, I needed that year to help me escape my old reality. But constant hustling is not how we thrive as women. It's not. We create more abundance. We attract more good things. We bring more ease into our life when we finally realize that less can be more. And this is an essential principle that you need to understand. So let me explain what I mean. Let's first talk about dating. By leaning back and not chasing, by doing less, you open up that space for you to be able to attract in, for you to be pursued, for you to attract a partner that's just naturally enamored with you, for you to focus on yourself. By doing less, you're not trying to constantly fix him. You're not trying to find a whole improvement project kind of guy. By doing less, you're not spam texting that random guy how bad you felt when he ghosted you. By doing less, you allow your partner to help you and stay in that feminine receptivity. You give your partner the space to fix problems and think of solutions himself rather than immediately trying to jump and handle everything yourself. If he's trying to plan the first date and he says, "Oh, do you have any ideas for where we should go to dinner?" You say, "I'm sure whatever you pick will be perfect." Less is more. When you guys decide to get ice cream after dinner and it's a place that he's never been to before and he doesn't know where it is, don't immediately be like, "Okay, yeah, you're gonna take just straight down this street and then in half a mile, you're gonna go right here. And then right around the corner, yep, you're gonna turn another right. Yep, it's right there. And then yeah, see there's parking in the front. Oh, but there's also parking in the back. But we should probably go in the back because the front's, yeah, no, it looks pretty crowded. Let's go in the back. Oh, to get that parking spot right there, that one's a good one. Yeah, chill. You do not need to do it all. You can do less. You can lean back, you can relax sometimes. And doing less is what actually amplifies your feminine seductiveness, your mystery, and attracts the right type of person. And it gives you that relaxed sort of peaceful confidence that makes you the most attractive version of yourself. Or what about not in dating, just like in general life? When you do less and actually let yourself rest and prioritize all the self-care and invest into your nourishment, your energy amplifies. You attract in like crazy. You manifest like crazy because you're such a peaceful, high vibe, clear vessel. When you do less, it means letting go of that crazy perfectionism that's holding you back and destroying your sanity. It means listening to your intuition to make quicker, easier decisions. And by not trying to do all of the things, instead of having 25 goals, you have something like 4 focused goals. You simplify. You focus on intentional, mindful actions rather than busy, scattered efforts that get you nowhere. Even when it comes to making money, the same less is more principle can still apply. It's about working harder, not smarter. It's about aligning your work with your menstrual cycle as much as you possibly can. So when you have low energy, you give yourself the rest that you need. But when those high energy times come in your phase, you're just like Superwoman. You're getting everything done and it's also easy. And again, not trying to do everything, but having focused efforts, focused goals rather than being too scattered and trying to do everything. And then doing those things well and doing those things consistently, that is what will pay off. It's like the reason why I think I have been like pretty successful on YouTube is because early on I decided that I wasn't gonna do it all. I wasn't gonna post on Instagram 5 times a week and TikTok 3 times a day. It's just like, it's just too much. Like my priority was always YouTube. And when you put all of your efforts into like one solitary thing or just like a few priorities, it means the transformation and abundance from that can happen so much quicker. And I'm not saying that you can only do one thing. It's just like spreading yourself too thin, trying to do everything, especially in business, it's actually going to keep you from making money. If you really tap into your heart, it knows that true success and true fulfillment doesn't come from trying to be everything, from trying to do everything, trying to manage everything, and constantly exhausting yourself. Embrace the less is more. Really think about where your energy and your focus is going. Focus on what truly matters and trust that not everything requires you to immediately take charge. Create space for what's meant for you to flow in naturally. Less hustle, more receiving. Less control, more trust. This shift is an important key to turning on your feminine energy and creating a life of more ease, abundance, and alignment. I hope you found this video helpful. As always, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. But besides that, before you go, I highly recommend you check out this video, 10 micro habits to increase your feminine energy. It's just a bunch of really easy, actionable, practical things that you can do in your daily life to help turn on that feminine energy. So I will see you over there, or I'll just see you next time in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. Bye.